Hello, welcome back. Right, this video I'm on the BBC Micro again. I'm really enjoying discovering this machine, the Commodore 64 and the Amstrad. I know that I'd said that I wanted to remain a ZX Spectrum oriented channel for as long as possible. But I'm really enjoying this. The reception from you all seems to have been that you're enjoying seeing these things as well. So I've got no qualms in sort of like taking the plunge and sort of diversifying the channel a bit. There will, of course, always be a lot of ZX Spectrum content. It's going to remain the main focus of it, but there is so much else to discover. And to be honest, going from the Spectrum, which I can speak about with some experience, to these machines that I know virtually nothing about, it's sort of like re-energising my enthusiasm for it, really, because sometimes just focusing on one machine just kind of got a little bit dull. At times, sometimes you'd struggle to find a game to sort of play, even though there are thousands and thousands of games to play on the Spectrum. It just at times got a little bit yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with diversifying out. I did try to do a completely separate channel, but that just was a pain in the arse to sort of maintain, so I gave that up so I can just use the machines I've got and do comparison videos, etc., utilising the original hardware. Shut up, will you, phone? I've done it again, haven't I? Hang on. Turn down, you bastard. Yeah, utilising the original hardware, and it's I can use playlists within the channel to sort of separate everything off, so that if you don't want to watch anything about the Commodore 64 or the BBC Micro, you don't need to. If you want to, you can then head to a specific playlist. I want to do an awful lot more comparisons, but I also am really interested in showing you some of the stuff I've been discovering on it. Now this BBC, I've said before, has got the Turbo MMC device thing you shoved up its arse, which allows games to be loaded through SD card, and the couple of SD cards that there are, it's about 100 games in total, some familiar names, some surprisingly familiar names on there that I would never have thought would have appeared on the BBC Micro, and also some real hidden gems. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you one that I've been playing quite a lot. So first I need to sort of set it up and get it chosen, and we'll get into it. See you in just a second. Hello, welcome back. Right, I'm at the command screen for the BBC Micro. It's just having a little bit of trouble focusing, the camera is. Now, like I said, I've got to get this game going. So I know its location already in the thingamajig. So it's dboot 53 that I want, game 53, which is Q*bert, which is an unashamed tribute / homage / rip-off of Q*bert, the arcade game. Now, like I said, I love the fact that I don't know anything about these systems, and I'm going through and I've found some really enjoyable games for the BBC, the Amstrad, the Commodore 64 that I knew nothing about, but we're on the BBC at the moment. So this is Q*bert. For those of you that don't know, it's kind of like a puzzle game where you've got to guide Q*bert around three-dimensional objects, such as pyramids, etc., changing floor tiles from one colour to the next whilst avoiding the cannonball-shaped baddie. Now, I know nothing much really about Q*bert games themselves. I did cover one for the Spectrum last year, but that's the only one I've ever played. Now, there are some Q*bert aficionados out there, of course there are. I'd like to know if you're a BBC Micro owner back in the day, if you knew this game, if there's an official Q*bert for not the Spectrum, it's not a Spectrum, is it? BBC Micro. Right, and what your thoughts on it were. Now, I love this game. It's really colourful. The controls, obviously... Oh, I just done it again. Obviously, three-dimensional, and you control in the diagonal. That's the only ways you can move in this game. Ah! Now, I've done quite well on sort of dry runs I had, but obviously can't handle the pressure of being on camera. It's just so much fun. It's so colourful. I don't know if you can make out very well the little Q*bert character. He doesn't look like Q*bert, obviously. Game over. He doesn't look like Q*bert, obviously, because it's an unashamed tribute, if you know what I mean. But it's just really, really enjoyable. I've had so much fun with this. The sound, it actually sounds, I've said this before, the BBC Micro sounds like an arcade machine. I think, anyway. I might just be talking out my arsehole there, but I don't think I am. It's got a very unique sort of sound to it. I just jumped off the bleeding edge. This is going horribly wrong. Any mistakes that are being made are mistakes of mine, not of the game's. It's difficult, but it's not unfair in that it's down to me if I cock something up. It's not through unresponsive controls. They are anything but. They are very responsive. Oh, look at that. That was super quick, that one. I might be in Uncharted. I think, have I done this level before? That's it. Sometimes the perspective fools you, and you end up instead of jumping one way, you go another. But it's just a really, really fun game. I'm enjoying it so much. I'd been wanting to cover as many games as possible. To try as many games as possible that are contained on the SD card. But I kind of got stuck behind this. Everything else got stuck behind this because it's really a good laugh and just so great. I can't sort of like, I'm sounding like totally fanboying out about it, aren't I? But undiscovered gems are the best kind of games, and that's what I love about these new sort of systems like the Spectrum. Well, not new sort of systems, old systems. What am I talking about? Oops, a daisy. Oh, I just jumped off the edge again. Right, so he's going quicker and quicker now. Oh, it was all going so well. I only had one square of colour in there. Let's try and zoom in a little more. You might be able to see just a tiny bit more. I've got another high score, one more go, and then that's it. Should you play this if you've got a BBC emulator, the BBEM emulator? Yeah, of course you should. I just love the colours. Swine. Where are you going? You're going that way, right, okay. Great game. Great fun. Oops, a daisy. Sorry, Q*bert. Oh, and again. So a lot of it is about learning the patterns as well, and obviously the ball seems to go a little bit quicker. If you don't get the level clear in time, now he's going to come down that way again now, isn't he, the bastard? I just jumped off the... Well, that was Q*bert for the BBC Micro. I really, really enjoyed it. Please go and check it out if you are curious of knowing, learning a bit more about the system, because It's got gems like this. It's a load of shit as well, but like all the systems have. But yeah, I've really enjoyed myself on that game. Thanks ever so much for watching if you've got this far. If you like the video, please let me know. If you wish to subscribe, please do so. But if you do subscribe, please, please, please take the time to join in with the discussion. That is what it's all about. Thank you ever so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.